Hey, this is Chris. Welcome to part 3 of our series on how to build a curling simulator. Whether you're building the full-size model in the basement or the desktop model, you're going to have to calibrate the camera system. The procedure is the same for any size simulator. In this video, we're going to look at the desktop model. We built a plastic scaffold structure so we could mount the camera directly overhead of the detection zone. Our curling stone rolls on bearings and is painted in 2 distinct colors. As a bit of an aside here, I'll note that these deep shadows through the detection zone are not a good idea. It can lead to poor performance, so you might have to adjust your lighting accordingly. When you first launch the game, if you make either of the teams physical, you'll enable the Calibrate button. Push that to get to the calibration page. Here you'll choose the camera and basically tell the camera what it's looking for and where it can expect to find it. With your stone in view of the camera, you'll tell the camera what colors it's looking for by clicking on first one side and then the other side of the stone. The program will highlight all pixels that are close enough in color to the pixel you clicked. If pixels that are not part of your stone are highlighted, you can adjust the tolerance until only your stone is highlighted. Next, we'll take a series of length measurements, starting with the diameter of the stone. We'll measure and input the length and width of the detection zone. I'll note that the detection zone does not have to be visibly marked on the surface. I've drawn the outline here to make the video easier to follow. The hack distance is the horizontal distance from the screen back to the approximate place where a user will be setting up for a shot. We then measure and input parameters that define where the projection screen sits relative to the playing surface. The view width is a measure of how wide the calibration window appears on the display. Finally, we need to define where the 4 corners of the detection zone are. This is done by setting the stone in each of the 4 corners and clicking the corresponding button. When all 4 corners are set, a black box appears around the detection zone. From this point forward, the camera only cares about what's inside that black box. You can now test your setup by clicking Detect. If your stone is detected and appears in the bottom right corner in the proper location and orientation, then you're good to go. Hit Acquire to do a test throw. Have the weight of the throw be approximately button weight. Make sure at least 6 to 8 data points can be seen in the detection window on the bottom right. In the same window, also make note of the exit velocity. This number is in inches per second and we'll need it to complete our setup. Click Save to save the parameters and exit calibration mode. The final step is to set the speed and range parameters for the virtual ice. Speed is the exit velocity in inches per second of the stone that will produce a shot to the button. We measured about 30 inches per second in our setup, so this will be our new button weight. Range refers to the range in inches per second between a shot that just crosses the hog line and a shot with board weight. A smaller number here makes the game harder to play because it requires more finesse. With that, calibration is complete and you won't have to repeat this process unless you change your setup. So that's it. Click play and have fun.